Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us here on the statewide Noon News this Tuesday. I'm Samantha Harrelson. President Trump is on his way home from Singapore, where he agreed to a deal with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to begin the process of denuclearizing the Korean peninsula. Nikki Batiste is at the White House with more details.
President Trump and Kim Jong-un's historic meeting led to this moment.
The letter that we're signing is very comprehensive, and I think both sides are going to be very impressed with the result.
The two leaders signed a document which they say will lead to a denuclearized Korean peninsula.
We also agreed to vigorous negotiations to implement the agreement as soon as possible. And he wants to do that.
The details of how and when North Korea will abandon its nuclear program have not been worked out, and there is no language on how to verify they will comply. Meanwhile, President Trump has agreed to end what he calls war games with South Korea.
We have right now 32,000 soldiers in South Korea, and I'd like to be able to bring them back home.
The president has said more meetings will need to happen in order to implement these agreements, and he's invited Kim Jong-un to the White House at some point in the future.
I think it's really going to be something that will be very important, and he has accepted. I said at the appropriate time. We want to go a little bit further down the road.
But there is some doubt the North Koreans will follow through with their promise. They've made these kinds of deals before, only to later renege.
Today is the beginning of an arduous process. Our eyes are wide open, but peace is always worth the effort, especially in this case.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is now headed to South Korea and China to brief their leaders on the negotiations. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, the White House.
The North Koreans also agreed to return the remains of American service members lost in North Korea during the Korean War. Turning now to Montana news, the victims of an early morning murder-suicide on Saturday have been identified. The two are Rhonda Roxy Ray of Great Falls and Michael Mick Willie of Lincoln. Saturday morning, police responded to a report of a disturbance involving possible gunshots. Willie and Ray both later died from gunshot wounds at the hospital, but police have not said who initially fired the weapon. We do know Willie has been arrested twice in the last couple of months after allegedly punching a woman and violating a no-contact order. The man struck and killed by a train over the weekend has now also been identified. The Missoula County Sheriff identified the man as 26-year-old Robert Kalanick of Missoula. Kalanick's body was discovered by Montana Rail Link employees on the railroad tracks. The Missoula Police Department responded to the scene and are still investigating. Two Bozeman men are in jail, charged with shooting another man while he slept. Bozeman police say it happened early Sunday morning after an altercation. 20-year-old Chad Jackson entered a home and shot the victim in the legs. Jackson was found in Idaho this morning. 19-year-old Hunter Cruz was also arrested in relation to the shooting. The victim, who has not been identified, underwent surgery and is now recovering. Authorities in Judith Basin County have identified the man killed in a motorcycle crash on Friday west of Hobson. The coroner's office says the victim is 52-year-old Rex Handel of Calgary, Canada. Authorities believe the crash happened Friday night, but it was not reported until just after noon on Saturday. The cause of the crash has not yet been determined. Well, dangerous river conditions are prompting authorities to temporarily suspend the search for a man who went missing after falling into the Clark Fork River over the weekend. The 70-year-old man went missing Saturday night when the boat he was in overturned. Debris in the area, along with a rise in river levels, have made it difficult for search crews. The search will continue when those conditions improve. Turning to court news, as nursing homes and assisted living centers are now suing the Bullock administration in an effort to block cut rates for Medicaid patients. The lawsuit by the Montana Healthcare Association says the administration violated state law by not fully explaining its reason for the cuts or allowing full public participation. The administration cut the Medicaid rates by 3% starting back in January, effective for the following 18 months. State health officials say the cuts are needed to respond to reductions in state revenue, but a spokeswoman says for nursing and assisted living homes says the state ignored repeated requests to explain how it decided on that 3% figure. Now to the campaign trail. Less than a week after Montana voters decided who will face off in the state's U.S. Senate race in November, the two candidates are at odds over a statewide TV debate scheduled for this coming Sunday. In spite of previously saying he would take part, GOP nominee Matt Rosendale now says he won't. Instead, Rosendale is challenging incumbent Democrat Jon Tester to a series of 5 debates during the campaign. Rosendale's campaign says he plans to spend Father's Day with his family and is disappointed the Green Party and Libertarian Senate candidates were not invited to Sunday's debate. Rosendale's campaign points out he is committed to at least 2 other proposed debates. The Tester campaign says it's disappointed Rosendale chose to bail at the last minute. Tester says he still plans to be in Whitefish, which was the original location of the debate, on Sunday, with or without Rosendale. Well, thanks so much for joining us here on the Noon News. Coming up, 5 people are dead in Florida after a nearly 24-hour standoffs. Details of just what happened. But first, it's shaping up to be a beautiful day, but will the nice weather last? Ed has your full forecast when we come back.
You're watching MTN News with Samantha Harrelson. Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and farm and ranch news from the Northern Ag Network. This is the Noon News on Q2, Montana's news leader.